Back after that wonderful break. I hope you did get to be inspired and encouraged by that song as well. Thank you, my mom, for watching always every morning, saying that she's being blessed by the word, saying she has been encouraged so much with what we have shared earlier on today. Asanteni sana, even for the other viewers who do watch us, but then are not able to write to us. We still appreciate you and we know that you're there. But now I would love to get down to the newspaper review so that we see what is being reported this morning in our newspapers. And I'm going to be starting off with the Daily Nation. So I'm going to be just looking at the top page, highlighting the few stories, and then we skip over to the Standard. So the top story here is Mr. President exposed the corrupt MPs. Of course, this has been a cry for quite some time now. So Ruto's predecessor, Uhuru, in 2015 made a public list of shame. Okay, so President Ruto's warning to bribe-taking lawmakers has sparked controversy, with some MPs conceding the House had become a den of graft and others fighting back. Leaders now want the president to name and shame the rogues. This is going to be history repeating itself. When Uhuru Kenyatta in 2015, the former president, did the same thing. There was a list of shame of people who have been caught up in corrupt cases. So this is the thing that follows what we reported yesterday, that, of course, Ruto, the president, did say that the parliament is what, and the judiciary, actually, he mentioned the parliament and the judiciary being the ones who are the biggest culprits of corruption. So now, following that, what we did yesterday, what we covered yesterday in the newspapers, they're saying, then write the list of those people. He seems to know them. So let's see the list of shame, and let's see the people who are prone to these corrupt cases. So that is what is happening today, and we will see if indeed this list is going to be released. Moving on, why math and science teachers have better chance for 24,000 TSC vacancies. So TSC to give preference to applicants with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics qualifications. This is a story covered on page 14. I mean, I thank God I'm not a teacher, because I would have failed in this one. Mathematics. Hey, jamani, even my dad would always tell me, maths bada. You know, it was not my cup of tea. But languages nilikuwa sawa. But you see now what I'm doing now. I just needed the languages. But anyway, moving on. I see Catholic nuns win rare court battle with priest over school. The High Court has ruled in favor of a group of nuns in a protracted case with priest over the ownership of Our Lady of Grace School in Kisumu. I see here Franciscan Sisters of St. Anne, Luak, retained control of the school for the underprivileged children in Kajulu. This is a story covered on page 10. Moving on, I see Raila backs governors to snub state. On that, they're saying ODM leader Raila Odinga has told senators they have no legal mandate to summon governors to answer to audit queries. Mr. Odinga says governors should account for their public spending before their respective county assemblies, a statement that is set to embolden MCAs. Story covered there as well. And I see the Voice newspaper, the pullout, the DN2 pullout, is saying trapped by dreams. And you can have a look at it and know that it's a powerful feature, and you can be encouraged by it as well. I see here Mpox infections decline sharply, but high-risk groups still spreading disease. I think it's still a problem that we still have very little to no information with regards to Mpox. However, we see here that the infections have declined, but then high-risk groups still spreading the disease. And there's a picture there that shows how the infections look like, with sores all over the hands. Moving on to the sports page, I know I see her favorites, Algeria, South Africa, I Group C, top sport. That is being reported right there. And moving on to the Standard newspaper this morning, just to look at the top page and what is being reported, we see here the Standard has covered quite a number of stories here. Ridiculous displays, and saying millions sunk into a glittering jamboree of convoys, luxury hotels, and joyriders. The Homa Bay Devolution Conference has exposed a grotesque pageant of waste. Governors rolled in with fleets of fuel guzzling Prados, aides flashing designer watches, and delegations of up to 100. Yet county stands lay bare. Bungoma's display was a governor's chair and an unpacked phones. Kisumu offered biscuits and books. Siaya brought 4 pieces of dried fish. I mean, we would expect that from the people of Siaya, from a private trader, as Baringo displayed a few tins of honey and pamphlets. Taxpayers picked up the tab as the leaders reviewed success of the meeting. And this is a story that is interesting, calling it ridiculous displays. And the title here is, in fact, embarrassment. It's an embarrassment where millions sunk into a glittering jamboree of convoys, luxury hotels, joyriders, Homa Bay Devolution Conference. So this is quite interesting, a story that has been given preeminence in the Standard this morning. More stories on the Standard. I see Why Should I Never Compromise in Love, a story covered in the Standard, and you can have a look at it in more details. Mental health inclusion and the forgotten rural students, also a story that has been covered there in the Standard. Now, let us look at the Business Daily this morning. The top page covering investors offer record of 323 billion for bond in race for big returns. So I see huge bids reflected a highly liquid market. Central Bank accepted 95 billion shillings. More stories. I see Gadungu says 4.1 billion shillings CDF bursaries cash lost. I mean, that is quite unfortunate. I also see COP's net profit jumps to 14.1 billion shillings. Banks face bumpy ride on subdued credit demand. I also see Mbadi eyes 4 billion shillings for farms behind prison walls. Okay. And on the court intelligence today, what lessons did we learn from Kengen and KQ? That even after IPOS, political interference meddling does not stop. That is what we are seeing being covered this morning on the Business Daily. You can grab a copy of your favorite newspaper, get to be on the know about what is happening in our nation, but also tune in to Hope FM. At the top of every hour, we have news updates. On Hope TV, Dira at 7 p.m., 9 p.m. we have News Watch. You can always tune in, and I know that you are going to be extremely, extremely blessed by the content that we also bring in the whole, day as you listen to Hope FM. Mutabarikiwa sana. Then at the top of every hour, you get to hear some news updates. But anyway, right about now, let us have a listen at the video of the day.